This was probably my 8th or 9th trip to Gaza. And I thought I wanted to tell you a little bit about what life is like on a good day in Gaza. Because we hear all these words, siege, and so I just wanted to kind of talk about what it's like before the war. You can all see on the media what it's like now, imagine what it's like now. And so this is my first impression of the day. So the first one is basic water.
Can you repeat that? You're not coming through clear.
Comes from Israel. They have a desalinization plant. They have water. And so the water that they live on, the wells, the aquifer is so depleted that the water is self-sufficient. So when they say they talk about water, that's not water that they have. I feel like before they can even get past the border. So sometimes those wonderful strawberries are for random reasons held at the border and rot at the border so that they cannot sell them on the market in the West Bank or in Israel. But the rest of their water, the rest of their food comes from importing. And you have to know that about 65% of Gazans are food insecure. So they aren't sure they have enough food, they can't buy enough food, and 60% of the food of this war depended on humanitarian aid. So by cutting humanitarian aid, even before the war started, now
Can I get a picture of the slide?
Sure can.
electricity. So they have some generators, but as you know, they've been without electricity since the war started. Before that, they had daily blackouts. That was their reality. They had electricity for 4 hours on, 4 hours off. Sometimes I've been there for 2 hours on, 8 hours off. So people have some solar. They might have a generator, which now has no fuel, but they have worked around so many limitations. And sanitation. So when I've gone over there sometimes, I know they have their sanitation facilities for the septic is not, they only have 1 plant and they need 3, so that's always been an issue. And then, of course, healthcare, because that's what I work in. So their medications limited. They, what I do is check out children that might have even diabetes, and we have to help provide insulin for them. So life-saving medications that are not available. So these are such important things that were not available before, and as you can all imagine how less available they are now. And you know, you talk about limitation of movement, that has to do with healthcare and getting out and being able to get healthcare in other areas if they need it, or just getting out if they're going to school in places. So just the lack of freedom of movement and the civil liberties that we all enjoy in the United States. So I just wanted to explain that a little bit to you. I have been, as you can imagine, the last couple weeks with a lot of other NGOs and people. We've been so fortunate because our NGOs have been able to procure water and food for us. But I know that right next to us were Gazans who were in the same UN facility without water and without food. But I like to think that this is going to be a turning point because I think the intention that you all are giving to shout out to Dr. Barbara. It's been hard to hear the back, but I know that all of you here are familiar with the horrors of Gaza. You're familiar with the human right infringements that is happening to Gaza right now, right? We're all here because of Gaza, right? Keep that energy going. If you can't hear in the back that easily, just put your hands up, and I'll try to keep an eye on it. Sounds good? All right, cool. Next up, I want to introduce Dr. Omar Mubarak. He is a doctor and hails from the city of Ramallah in Palestine. So let's show him some love.
Hello. I want to thank you all for coming out. Literally, this warms my heart, and you don't know. As a third-generation Palestinian in America, watching this for so many decades, to the point where my father actually was born there, and he'll probably die and never see peace, is just heartbreaking to me. I am a vascular surgeon and president of the Colorado Medical Society. In an elective situation, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you do not know what a vascular surgeon does, but you can imagine it's very intense. In an elective situation, what we do is we open the arteries and the veins in the body so that the tissue can get perfusion and essentially oxygen and nutrients, and it can survive. But the reason that I became a vascular surgeon was that I noticed that when people have problems in the operating room and another surgeon has a complication, what occurs is they've hit a vessel and they cannot stop the bleeding. And I wanted to be a person who could always take care of my own problems and never have to rely on anyone and save people's lives. Today, all of you coming to this are acting like vascular surgeons to stop the human suffering and carnage and bleeding of humanity. This is a cycle of violence that is ridiculous. On October 7th, Hamas killed 1,400 people and kidnapped 250. But the Israeli response has been extraordinarily disproportionate. Gaza is 26 miles by 6 miles. It's home to 2.3 million people. Over 9,000 are dead. Since the conflict started, 1,000 bombs a day have been dropped. 400 children a day have been killed. The siege has blocked food, water, fuel, and medical supplies. 1.1 million people have been internally displaced. Hospital personnel and hospitals themselves have been targeted. Entire neighborhoods have been leveled, and Palestinian men have been arrested for no good reason throughout Israel and the occupied territory. Our politicians, Biden, some of our local politicians, talk about the rules of war. I'm going to read to you what the rules of war. When they say that, what they're talking about is the rules formed at the Geneva Convention. And if those rules are violated, you are essentially creating a law or a violation against humanity. Okay? So I want to read to you what those rules of war are, because you hear about it on the TV. They are specifically no targeting civilians, no torture or inhumane treatment of detainees, no attacking hospitals and aid workers, providing safe passage for civilians to flee the conflict, providing access to humanitarian organizations, and no unnecessary or excessive loss or suffering of humanity. I would argue that if you are watching the news and even that news is so biased, you cannot help but notice that these are all atrocities against humanity and war crimes. The average Jewish person and the average Arab person throughout Israel and the occupied territories just want to live a normal life. They want what we all want. They want to live and they want a slightly better life for their children. We need to stop the genocide and humanitarian crisis that is occurring right now. We need to condemn ceasefire. And for the sake of humanity, we need sustainable security with a two-state solution. Thank you very much, all of you, for being here. And again, it warms my heart to see so many of you out.
Close to my mouth. Can you hear me in the back? All right, I just want to look around for a second. I was asked by the board to talk about Israel plays in that, and I will make comments about that. But just before I started to speak, my buddy came up to me, pointing out right there, Dan Winter. And he's been doing this longer than a lot of you that are here have been alive, and I just want to acknowledge. So, 3 points. One, about the role of Israel. Israel's role in basically supporting U.S. imperialism. The second point is about what's called the axis of resistance, which I don't know how many of you are aware of, but I'm going to talk about. And the third point about hope. About hope. So having said that, I'm going to try to do that all in 6 minutes. So we'll see what we can do. First of all, needless to say, this isn't the place to go into the details about U.S. imperialism, other than to say we do live in an imperialist country, and its record when it comes to the third world is well known, and that's something that's got to change. We've got to change. Imperialism, and that's what's called settler colonialism. And for those of you unaware, the fact that the United States is a settler colonial country, it's genocide by slow motion over the centuries, but we know what the results have been, the millions of people that have died. But there are other more modern examples of settler colonialism. I only want to speak to one because I think it's similar to what Israel is about. And that's what the French French did in Algeria. What the French did in Algeria, and what makes settler colonialism just so vicious, so racist, because it can't be any otherwise. It's based on some kind of theory of superiority, whether it's chosen people garbage, right? That's Zionism's excuse. Whether it's manifest destiny, which has a whole history here, or in the French case, what they thought to be the superiority of French civilization. While if on the one hand you're talking about one group of people that's superior, the other group is inferior, of course. The other group is, the whole vision is racist from the very start. In terms of the chosen people, what we hear from Zionist Jews, here's the question. Chosen by whom to do what to whom? In the notion of being chosen, all right? What happened in Algeria? The Algerian French and the Algerian people could not find common ground, and the bottom line was the French were expelled. What is going to be the fate of Zionism? All right. Second point here. Basically, all that Israel is, it's a proxy. It's a proxy for U.S. imperialism in the region. Okay? This nonsense about shared values and shared interests. That's basically what it's about. All right? Shared interests. And in terms of, does the tail wag the dog and all that nonsense? No. The decisions are made here. This is the source of the bloodletting. And the blood is on our hands, the hands of our government. And that is really the target to change this. About hope. So somewhere in this audience, I don't need to embarrass her, but we'll do it a little bit. Is a young woman who helped my wife and I with organizing campaign when Nancy was working at Colorado State Veterans Home. In any case, she came to visit us one night and she said, well, we had to talk about something. She needed advice. And I said, about what? And she said, I need hope. I need, let me organize this stuff. All right? Let me tell you. And you know what? I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready to tell her, to give her some idea where hope was. And that question has haunted me since. Well, I want to tell you where hope comes from. Hope comes from all of us standing here together. We were alone because we're critics of Zionism, because we supported what I refer to as the unbelievable Palestinian resilience, and that we were alone. And hope comes from history, from studying those who have come before. Studying those that have come before. Think of what people have gone through, and how could they be resilient after what they've experienced, whether it's the Vietnamese people, whether it's the Algerian people, the people of Guatemala, and now the Palestinian people. It's not a hope that's easily won, and to see the price that has to be paid, I can hardly talk about it. I wish I had the resilience of the Palestinian people.